All right, here we go. All right. So we're going to react to this, guys. This is Grave Theory. Okay, so this has already got 683 likes. It's got 10K views 5 days ago. Let's see what this guy has to say. He says BDO is the dark horse of MMOs.
Sometimes you have to just sit back and ask yourself, why? Why is water wet? Why is the sky blue? Why is Black Desert Online still alive in 2023 despite seemingly having one of the worst reputations in the entire MMORPG market?
What?
Pay-to-win systems, huge...
Maybe that's just a little too hard. The top left guy I thought was BlueSquadron the whole time. No, that's me. Wait. Do we have the worst reputation? I feel like, nah, he's being way too critical. We do not have the worst reputation of MMOs on the market. I mean, there's Conan exists. There's no way. The bar is impossibly low. James Cameron making ocean movies levels of low for MMOs. There's no way we're
huge microtransaction cash shop, insane amounts of
Lost Ark is worse. Well, honestly, there's a Lost Ark refugee right there, right? Arcade, yeah. Like
one of the most oppressive and most convoluted and alive in 2023, despite seemingly having one of the worst reputations in the entire MMORPG market. Pay-to-win systems, huge microtransaction cash shop, insane.
Huge microtransaction cash shop. I guess we qualify. So far, so good.
Amounts of grinding, one of the most oppressive and most convoluted enhancement systems in the entirety.
Buy all your gear, idiot.
Of gaming, RNG hell gambling, simulator progression, PvP desync issues, brutal learning.
I mean, like, bro, every game has lag, dude. Like, what? Oh, I get it. I get it now. Do you guys? I didn't see it before. Yeah, I didn't see it before. Now I understand. Where is my pen? Right here. Because if you look right here, right particularly there, you can see why this guy has this opinion on the game. Oh God, gear monkeys. Oh my God, someone get Lakari on the phone. Hold on, I'm gonna unmute my my notifications here. My boy just subscribed here. Let me get these going. Baddest Star with the Prime sub. Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate that. With the brand new Prime sub. Nothing makes me wetter than a brand new subscriber, but okay, he's from Man Up. So we know where the baseline is here.
Curve, no raids or anything like raids from other MMOs. Berserker players.
By the way, that clip was from like 2016. 2017. It had to be from 2017. Right? There's just no shot. Mangles. Hey girl, hey. Thanks for that follow, buddy.
Flagging and dismounting your low-level character, killing your horse and throwing you off a cliff, or
again, stuff that happened in 2017. How often does this happen nowadays unless you're a war target? You know what I mean? Siege is still laggy though? Sure. But like not nearly as laggy as it was back then. You remember the servers when Cacao was running it? Or the one before Cacao? I'm forgetting the name. I'm blanking on the publisher before Cacao. Like those servers were way worse. LeaseWeb. Oh my God. LeaseWeb was the worst, dude. LeaseWeb was so awful. And when they heard that they were moving publishers, LeaseWeb just stopped managing their servers. The final like 2 weeks of LeaseWeb were like the worst weeks of BDO.
Or suplexing you into a river for no reason. MMORPG players who have been in the space for a while have likely heard many, if not all, of these complaints about BDO for years. But despite all of the complaints and general bad press surrounding the game has not only survived, but thrived. Black Desert was Pearl Abyss's first game, the studio being founded only in 2010, with the game's Korean version being playable in 2014 and Western release in 2016. The game's success was enough to further fund a console version of the game, which has done surprisingly well, as well.
You know, I think that the console players would disagree with that statement. I I do think that the console players would disagree with the console doing well. I feel like the console community is struggling quite a bit. I feel like when it came out, it was like really popular because they had a lot of their partners go play it. People were playing it, but like, I don't know. It kind of gives me a little bit of baseline of kind of where he's at education wise with the game because console is not doing super well.
As Black Desert Mobile, which was
okay,
less
that's
of
doing
a direct
well.
port. And
I mean, Black Desert Mobile is juicer. They make a ton of money off BDO Mobile. A ton of people play that.
Really an entirely new game built for mobile from the ground up based on the Black Desert framework. But it doesn't end there. Revenue has been strong enough from the Black Desert IP alone for Pearl Abyss that it allowed them to purchase EVE Online Development Studio CCP Games as a subsidiary in 2018, as well as start production on 3 entirely new game IPs. Can
I just say that the Flying Dragon, there is no amount of money that I would not pay to fly on a dragon in Black Desert. I'm just saying. Just throwing it out there.
Action-adventure RPG game Crimson Desert, the open-world Pokemon-esque charming Doke V, which...
I didn't know Pearl Abyss brought CCP. I did not know that either. But I didn't even know about this game. Look at this game. So we all know about Crimson Desert. We all know about Crimson Desert.
3 entirely new game
We're all very
IPs.
excited about it.
The action-adventure RPG game Crimson Desert, the open-world Pokemon-esque charming Doke V, which looks like an awesome game, by the way. And at this
I don't know if I would say, based on that 3 seconds of gameplay, which makes me, of course, an expert on the game, that looked like a super great game. But, like, we'll see.
Point, an announced but little known as of yet shooter titled Plan 8. And before you think, oh, it's Chinese mobile money or
Korean company, big dog,
something along those lines, which is a rightly fair judgment considering today's gaming market, you can see from this snapshot from Pearl Abyss's 2022 Q4 financial report that the majority of their revenue is not only from PC over console and mobile, but that their most profitable region is actually NA and EU.
That's us, baby! That's us, baby! Big money banks! Yes, sir! We hurl money at the game. We do not care. That's right, baby. We spend the money. So proud of you guys right now. Look at that quarterly. We look so great. And honestly, Pearl Abyss has been listening to us way more now that we've been spending way more money than KR on the game. Freedom dollars. That's right. That's right.
Beating out Korea and the rest of Asia combined, which is relatively unheard of in the gaming space for a Korean title. Needless to say,
we are such degenerates. We are actually such degenerates. We beat the entire, like, multiple continents of Asia.
Black Desert has not just been hugely successful as a game, but insanely profitable for Pearl
Wasabi, you know, Kami. Hey, girl, hi. Thanks for those follows, guys.
Abyss as a company, but the question remains, why? And here's where the opinions come in, and I'm going to give you mine. In order to
I would expect nothing less from your video. This is World of Warcraft.
Properly understand what I want to say, however, we need to go back to 2004 with the release of the monumental behemoth that was...
Is there a link for Doke V? Put it in the chat.
World of Warcraft. WoW was so huge in its success that it became a household name. It had celebrity TV commercials, South Park episodes, Horde and Alliance Mountain Dew cans. It reached a peak that no MMORPG will probably ever reach again. Its success was so massive that it acted like an MMO black hole that absorbed nearly every player in the space into it and left nothing for most of the other games in the genre. And with that great success came lots of hungry businesses. And here's where the problem...
I just don't know why he rewound through it all, but that's fine. It just messed with me a little bit. All right. Let me save this. Well, I'll queue this one up. We'll queue this one up. We'll do that one next. We'll do that one next and put this over here.
begin, where instead of gaming companies in the space wanting to create and innovate their own MMORPGs, they simply decided to try to emulate World of Warcraft instead.
Okay,
For years, it seemed like every MMO...
He's got that absolutely right, dude. Like, World of Warcraft came out, and then every single that Rewind is actually taken, it's hard to get copy, oh, it's copyright strike. Okay, all right, that makes sense then. But, like, every single MMO that came out right after WoW was basically just trying to be WoW, but with like a different like I don't know, fantasy. Whether it be Lord of the Rings, right? Conan Exiles. I played the Star Wars one. That one sucked. That was miserably bad. I did play it for like 300 hours though, because I'm a degenerate.
RPG that came out was touted to be the next WoW, that it was going to be the fabled WoW killer, and in this, all of them failed. No MMORPG has ever been able to reproduce WoW's success, and as we know now, the only game that was ever capable of killing WoW was, well, WoW. That's right, Most of the MMOs that came out around this period in the late 2000s,
and Blizzard did that successfully. Thank you, Blizzard.
And early 2010s died out. Age of Conan, Warhammer Online, Rift, WildStar. There is a...
Some say Star Wars The Old Republic is good now. Oh, dude, I know. People keep saying that, and I just keep saying, oh, I just can't be fucked. Yeah, no, it took them like 9 years. There's actually just no way.
Massive list. Games with huge financial backing and big name IP recognition like Star Wars The Old Republic from BioWare.
Dude, when it came out, dude, everybody wanted to be a Jedi and stuff, and it was all buggy. You know what I mean? Like, there was just bugs everywhere, and things didn't work right, and you're constantly glitching, and the grind didn't feel very good. But, like, I played it anyway because it was fucking Star Wars, and I got to run around as a Jedi. You know what I mean? That's why we played it. Eventually, we stopped playing it, but... And we went to League of Legends, the Dark Ages.
Scrolls Online were able to recover and reform their games.
Direction to a guide. Oh, anyone able to point me in a direction to a guide to help my gear up my second character I used to level up with my timepiece from summer season. I'm a noob in BDO. Well, if you timepiece, you should be able to put all your Tuvala on it.
To being more story-driven, small content, DLC slice, MMO experiences.
You could theoretically make a second set of Tuvala if you wanted to have 2 sets of gear, but there's really no reason to have 2 sets of gear.
And find some success after their massive launch player fall off, but most weren't so lucky. Final Fantasy XIV's rebirth after its disastrous original launch was unprecedented, and the developers, whom I respect greatly over there at Square Enix working on the game, even stated when rebuilding the game with A Realm Reborn that they used WoW as a model to base their game on because they needed to find a surefire way to recover the project. If it wasn't for the fact that Final Fantasy was one of the biggest and most beloved IP names in all of gaming, the fact that Square Enix took a huge leap of faith dumping the money into rebuilding a mainline title entry, and the fact that Yoshi P is a god,
yeah,
I
Monkey
sincerely
Cam and
believe Final Fantasy XIV would never have made it either. And this lands us conveniently...
Final Fantasy had a sufficient enough main storyline that was like actually so engaging that the ERPers were going to play that game no matter what happened.
Timeline wise to the release of Black Desert.
It's such a good storyline.
In an era of replication and emulation that was the time period between 2008 to roughly 2014 or so.
What about the character you're moving Tuvala from? They won't have anything, right? That is correct. That is the problem with timepiecing. Until you graduate, you won't have anything. And so you just have to make extra Tuvala and then graduate the gear when the early graduation comes around.
Black Desert and the developers over at Pearl Abyss decided to do something absolutely crazy. Something completely unheard of for the most part at this time. They decided to make an MMORPG.
I can't tell if I love his voice or if I hate his voice, but honestly, I'm leaning towards love. I'm kind of liking it.
That was nothing like World of Warcraft. And not only was it not like WoW, but it wasn't like many other Korean...
He's like dead inside. That's why I like it so much. Count Turtle, thanks so much for that follow, buddy. I appreciate that.
MMOs either that were also largely all following in the footsteps of Lineage. Black Desert was a unique game. No raids, no dungeons, no subscription fee, complete and total action combat with zero tab targeting with almost fighting game-like inspired controls, one massive giant landmass with
no subscription fee is like, you know what I mean? Like early on, the value pack was like, ooh, man, that was juiced.
no loading screens in a game with better graphics than anything else on the market.
Imitating a YouTuber called Young Nia. Well, I mean, everybody imitates somebody.
Fast travel, no expansions or DLC to buy, a strange node and worker empire system, ships and sailing content, open
No.
world PvP and node war systems where guilds can control nodes and territories and even castles on the world map for benefits. I could go on. And all of this was when the game was in its early formative years. What's more than this, and even arguably more important, is that Pearl Abyss decided to unwaveringly stay true to their own vision of what they wanted their game to be. When asked over
Okay, no, they didn't. All right, when the game came out, it was wholeheartedly open world PvP. Everyone's flagging on each other. It's dog eat dog. You have whole guilds locking down world bosses so that other guilds can't get involved in them at all. It was all about PvP. The red system. You had like the Valencia. You had Moyquin and stuff, right? You did the fights at Pirate Islands were epic. You know, everybody's just beating the shit out of each other. Sawsons was crazy. Now look at BDO. Now we have instanced like PvE content. We have boss blitzes and stuff. We have not stayed true to the game's original base at all. Like that, we've completely shifted away from it. It's not even remotely close.
Over and over again by the players in the early years about adding content that other MMO.
BDO is now full of snowflake shit. No, I actually like the way that they've moved away from that hardcore PvP. I feel like that drove a lot of players from the game unnecessarily, and like there's just too small of a player base that likes PvP. Like you gotta ease them into it. You get the new players in, they're like, I'm just gonna be a PvE Andy, and then like slowly you just creeping on them. You're like, why don't you just try some AOS practice? You know what I mean? And then you're like, how about you get involved in a node war? You know what I mean? Like, and then you start easing them into it, and then they become PvPers over time. That's how it works. But like, you gotta ease them into it. You can't just have them spawn in and have Divios teabagging them. You know what I mean? And just absolutely rolling them. Like, it doesn't work. People will quit the game.
RPGs had like instanced raids or teleporting.
The renown system was great. Put the gun down.
For dungeon style 30-minute in and out content, the answer from the developers was always no. Because adding those things would compromise the vision that they had for Black Desert. They didn't want BDO to be WoW.
Are we doing a pivot angle?
They didn't want BDO to be Final Fantasy XIV or Lineage or any other game. They wanted it to be its own unique experience. And in
Kristen, welcome back. 3 days in a row, big man.
They genuinely succeeded in creating that experience.
I think they did too. Guys, thanks for the follows. Shira and Mechagora9. Hey, girl. Hey, thanks for those follows, guys. I think they really did too. I think it was like when I started playing BDO back in like 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. It was definitely its own unique game. I had never really enjoyed an MMO until Black Desert, and I think that it was its own game mainly because of the combat system. If you're like, well, it went a completely different direction with questing. Yeah, they took a shit and then just called it the main story. Like that is technically a different direction with questing. The only thing that really separated it from the other MMOs is that it's not using the Unreal Engine at all. It's using its own engine, which enabled this combat system, which was state of the art and still is.
Black Desert is a niche MMORPG.
Hunt life skillers for 5 hours in Pine Forest.
Not everyone is going to like it. You may hate how grindy the game is. You may hate the enhancement system. You may...
I feel like he just described every MMO on the whole market. Well, it's just designed for a certain type of player, so you might not like it. Well, yeah, I mean, there's always going to be aspects of a game that you don't like.
Hate the microtransactions, you may hate the graphical pop-in or how confused.
I don't think I've had a single player come up to me and been like, God, I hate the microtransactions of BDO. However, if I asked the average Destiny player, that I couldn't even get my words out before they were literally fucking bombarded with the goddamn Eververse shop. Like it's way worse in games like Destiny 2 and stuff, but
Using the game is to learn even the combat. You may hate the fact that the game doesn't have raids because you love raids.
Guys, I don't know if he plays the game. I don't think he knows that the dungeon exists. Does he know? Because we call it a dungeon, but it is a raid. It's very specifically a raid. This is a Man Up player from like 2017. We have raids now. They're just called dungeons, big man.
Raiding, or a myriad of other things, and that's perfectly okay. Black Desert by design was never meant to appeal to everyone. And if the game doesn't appeal to you or you find its offerings to be lacking, there's nothing.
I disagree. I think the reason they come out with more classes every single year is because they're trying to get the game to appeal to more and more players. And that's why they've been coming out with PvE content as well.
Wrong with not playing it.
This guy's trying to get views by following the BDO hype train. And that is why we're having an experienced community member watch his video.
Liking it. As opposed to casting a wide net trying to compete with games much bigger than itself and risk catching.
The Man Up clip was Lucario or whatever his name was. All right, we're at 8:52. Where is right here?
Issues.
Yeah, it is Lucari. But the fact that he's using this clip tells me he's from the Man Up days. That gives us a baseline. Right? That is Lucari, but that gives us a baseline for where his knowledge was on the game, right? And you could tell it's a little outdated.
Catching nothing like so many games
Lucario.
before and after
Pokemon.
it. BDO aims to be a game that doesn't need to really compete at all. Love it or hate.
That's not true. It has to compete with all kinds of games. Lost Ark, New World, every MMO that comes out. We're immediately like, all right, is the combat as good as BDO's? Can I see the pores on my character's tits? No? Okay, back to Black Desert.
Hate it type of game, all in or all out. It exists in its own lane, a sort of haven for those who are bored with the standard fare or looking for something more exotic. Over the years, so much content has been added to the game as well that is just genuinely surprising. So much exists in Black Desert that you just can't find in other games, and the developers just seem to keep throwing out unexpected curveballs that as someone who's played the
I wouldn't say they've introduced content that is like state of the art or that you can't find in other games. I would say that they're releasing content that you can find in other games, and that is what has made us more popular. Right? It's not like they're reinventing, oh my, dungeons, this brand new concept. Like, no. Like this boss raid system exists in every other MMO that exists. This is the first time we've seen it in BDO, and that's why we're getting more popular now. Hopefully that's what he's going. The catch is that most of the content you can solo. I mean, yeah. I wouldn't consider that a catch. I would consider that a mostly positive thing.
Game a huge amount over the years I just still never see coming. Even just recently they released a brand new continent that took the entire BDO community off guard by having no grind zones, an unfathomable concept, or any of the game's typical content, but instead a large collection of voice-acted story quest chains called Tales, leading to boss battles and the introduction of an entirely new boss.
I feel like he's reciting a video that I've seen before. Does he actually... I don't get the idea that he's actually played through the Tales. Like, I get the idea that he's an old player, and then he's, like, watched a lot of the hype videos, but, like, he hasn't, like...
Boss rush system of challenging solo encounters with difficulty scaling and reward scaling as well as leaderboards for it. Just add that one to the list of things BDO has that most other MMORPGs don't. If you
Other MMORPGs definitely have leaderboards for their PvE content. Definitely. For sure. They definitely have much more engaging storyline. Like the Tales system and like the main story that we just got, voice acting, isn't that voice acting is pretty standard ops, right? Like it's state of the art for BDO. He's not wrong, but like every other MMO on the market has had that for 15 years. Like WoW started doing that in 2008, 2007. Like, goodness gracious, none of this is new.
You had have asked me 5 years ago if I thought something like that would be in BDO, I would
As a member of Man Up, I bet you wouldn't. I bet you would have said no because you quit that long ago.
have never believed it. But at this point, I have no idea what to expect from Pearl Abyss anymore.
It's probably because you're not playing the game.
Not everything BDO has done has been a success. No game is perfect. But
how dare you? The guild drill system is more popular now than it has ever been. We successfully, as a server, completed 2 whole guild drills this past season. Okay? And they were killed within half an hour to some Tuvala Timmy walking through the desert, but they were created.
But I'll never fault a game development studio for trying. It's this daring and innovative stance by the developers to make the game they want to make and to try.
All right. Daring and innovating is not the words that I would just say they looked over at the other games and they're like, man, we could add that to our game. And then they did that. I wouldn't consider that innovation. That's just like, hey, could you just, can I use your homework? I'll just change it so it looks different. And then we turned it in and we got a higher grade.
Crazy new things that allows BDO to stand out amongst its competitors.
You know, like you ever turned in your friend's homework and gotten like a 97 and he only got like an 85? That's what happened here.
To provide experiences that other games just can't provide. How many MMORPG games right now can you join?
Wait, isn't this the same clip? This is the only clip he's got. Check out any Young Yi on YouTube. All right, I'll take a look at it. This is the same clip. He's got nothing else. Nothing.
Join huge PvP wars fighting over territories to control and castles and regions.
This man logged in, opened his map, and moused over the 3 regions from last week. This is the most up-to-date visuals that we have seen in this entire video.
That give controlling guilds taxes and income bonuses. How many have the huge
oh no, he did a panning shot of his unicorn.
And seamless.
He's a shy player. Immediately discredited.
Open world that BDO has. How many can I make a living by catching wild horses, taming them, training them, breeding them, and selling them on the horse market? How many can I live a life on the open seas and player-crafted ships, fighting other players in sea battles, hunting?
That does not happen. I just want to be clear so anybody watching, that doesn't happen. We don't have, like, we have player-crafted ships. They don't shoot each other. I just want to make that clear. Okay? Nobody shoots at each other. Because if you do, you end up all downgrading your gear, and everyone loses. Everyone loses. But it can happen. True, you can do it. It is possible. And they are updating the guild galley, so maybe we will see it more. The problem is that the naval PvP system is super buggy. But, like, he's not wrong. It does exist within the game. But, like, doesn't Lost Ark also have this?
Ocean creatures for meats and goods or bartering trade items across.
Oh, man, he's driving around on a frigate. Look at that.
Across the seas for profit. How many can I explode packs of mobs like a third-person Diablo game or do combat as excellent?
300 versus 300 is going to have it. No, what the 300 versus 300 is going to have is desync. You're going to shoot at the boat. Nothing's going to happen. And then the boat's going to be over here. And then you're going to be at half health. And then you're going to shoot at it over there. And then the boat's going to be over there. And then your boat's going to sink. And you're going to be like, what the fuck? Because that is always what happens in boat PvP. You don't even see him sailing in. You just start taking damage. And then a boat appears next to you. You're like, what the fuck? When the hell did you get here? Jay?
genre defining as Black Desert does? How many have BDO's awesome auto-pathing system? How many have...
Yeah, I will say the autopath system is phenomenal. But like I don't like go to my friends and I'm like, yo, I play this amazing game. You should play it because it has an autopath system. And the other MMOs don't have that autopath system. Nobody does it. It is an extra feature that is, yeah, it's pretty good, but isn't your boat a submarine? In PvP, I do drive an advance with blue gear. So in many ways, I am like the white bitch on the couch. So yes, a submarine is an accurate description of where the advance goes in the middle of PvP combat.
Have 26 classes to pick from and counting? How many have hugely in-depth life skilling systems with special life skilling gear, complete with minigames that I can spend my entire time in-game doing, like sniper rifle hunting, where I can nail a pig from 50 yards, or dedicate my life to being a...
This dude, nah, look at this picture. Tell me what's wrong with this pic. This dude's sporting over 3-second cook time. What the f is going on with this guy? And he's making beer. He's making beer at a 3-second cook time. What? This man is never getting anywhere. And he's got 396 contribution points. Oh my God. No way. That took him, there's the 7 years of playtime right there. That's it. We found it. That's why he doesn't know anything about the game. He actually hasn't left the utensil since it was founded.
Guru cooking master and making my fortune slaving away over a stove and...
Well, you wouldn't have to do that if you learned how to cook efficiently, you fucking... Oh my God. Wait. Stop. Enhance. This is super old gameplay. That particular artisan buff has not been in the game for over probably 2 or 3 years. That has not been in the game for a really, really long time, right? That came back? Oh, no, it's this week. Oh, okay. Wait, is it back in the game now? I don't have it. Never mind. He literally got... I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I thought maybe this is an old clip. He couldn't get the cook time down. Give him a break, guy. Nope. Never mind.
Calculating profits on 30 different spreadsheets. How many have people flipped?
My man has... You're shitting me. You're telling the guy that has 3-second cook time is cooking beer in his residence and has been for over 5 years. Has a spreadsheet for how to do it efficiently? He's not very good at Excel, man. I don't even know if you can put that on your resume, dude.
And calculating profits on 30 different spreadsheets. How many have people flipping chairs going Super Saiyan in excitement when they ding that huge successful enhance and make it big?
He used one of the enhancing streamers.
How many have people flipping chairs going Super Saiyan when they go to enhance an insanely expensive accessory and blow it to smithereens for the 5th time in a row? How many let you play a...
Oh, come on! You had a million clips you could have fished for. I was like, who's he going to use this time, bro?
Berserker, so you can PvP flag and dismount some low...
I would have paid good money to have him use biohacks like 60-second pen ogre ring and just watch him. He hits the pen and he's just like... Just fucking deadpan the whole fucking time. No response at all.
Low-level character, kill their horse, and then throw them off a cliff or suplex them into a river for no reason. How many games in the MMORPG genre have all of the things that I just listed in the same game?
Only because he started talking about suplexing people into rivers. I don't think that other games can do that.
Maybe some games have some of these things in them, but no other game has.
This motherfucker went RP walking through Altanova. Beautiful panning shot, though.
All of these things, because those games aren't Black Desert. There is
That's the trailer? Of course it was.
game like BDO out there. Not even close. Which is precisely why this game just won't die.
Bro. Grow a pair of balls. If you're gonna make me feel bad about how you enhanced and it failed, step 1, put on your condom. Step 2, do one that matters. Like, I'm not even gonna feel bad. I hope it fails. Yeah, you deserved it. +1, bitch.
God, you motherfucker.
All right, I'll give him the credit. All right, I'll give you. Here's the YouTube link, so you guys can go comment on it if you want to.
Sometimes.
Go give him a like. He at least threw out the video. Go give it a comment. Oh my gosh, look at all. Let me see the comments. The dedication the devs put into improving the game and continuing to improve is mind-blowing. It just keeps getting better and better. That is true. I agree with that. One of the better videos of BDO in 2023. Dude just doesn't have internet, bro. That guy actually just logged in and it's the only video he was actually able to watch this year. Oh my god. So much of the outside of BDO MMO crowd is unable to realize that BDO occupies a niche and has its own audience of gamers who crave what BDO offers. The very same elements outsiders find repulsive, the fans either don't care or actually enjoy. I've played many MMOs since 2001. WoW came out in 2007, didn't it? ...2004. What fucking MMO came out in 2001? EverQuest? Okay, all right. So he played EverQuest. Okay, that's his comparison. No wonder he loves BDO so much. He's comparing it to fucking 2001. I am frustrated with people who refuse to acknowledge that BDO might have something worthwhile. People who act like BDO players only like it if they're ignorant or feel, or will only like it if we are ignorant of what a real MMO is. I've long given up on trying to persuade friends to try it out. It would only be ever the weird casino gambling game. Well, they're not wrong to them. Oh, well. I mean, they should just buy their gear. They should just buy their gear. I actually fundamentally agree with most of what he said here, except for the first line here. This was a little rough. Because so much of the information was just a little bit outdated, but great analysis. I also agree that one of the reasons BDO stood the test of time, I would not say that we've done that yet, is the fact that it's unique among the genre, in that it is good. I'll give it to him. As someone who's a BDO vet, got around 10k hours, that's BDO fucking vet, 10,000 out, rookie ass looking motherfucker. Are you kidding me right now? Those are some rookie ass hours. I can get that AFK. Like, I agreed with a lot of the points in the video because you played in 2018. Easily one of the better... Oh, fuck me, dude. That's my community. Those are our people. Oh, God. I wasn't expecting such a quality and well thought out video from a small channel like this. I truly agree it's a very niche game that's hit or miss. And an alternative to this game, so when people burn out, they just come back because they can't find another MMO with superior combat. All right, so this guy just described Black Desert as that ex-girlfriend you broke up with because you realized she was ugly. You left. You went, you tried to date around a few other girls. You realize that after a while you start looking back and you say, man, maybe that mole didn't matter so much. And then you go back to her. I don't know if that's the comparison that I would use, but BDO is definitely a revolving door. Wow, the production value is insane. He literally just pieced together trailers. Put a lot of work into it and deserved subs than you currently. I need to do a video like this. Thanks for taking the time to give your opinion. Honestly, it was not a bad video. It was an interesting take. Part of the reason I wanted to do this video is because I disagreed with some of the stuff in here, and I felt like he was, I don't know, I felt like it's just someone that, again, just doesn't play the game, but wanted to make like a gotcha video about it. You know, just of generally agreeing with what everyone else was saying, but without having to actually play the game again. The dude had 4-second cook time making beer in 2023. Like, I'm so sorry. I lost all respect at that point. Reason for me is BDO has so much more depth than the other MMOs by a mile. Okay, this guy's gaming. You can PvE and grind, read guides on how to grind with mechanics, then decide to life skill and realize that it's so in-depth that it requires all your time. Then you decide to barter and realizes it's not worth any of your time. Oh, that it's its own game. This game has so much to offer. I agree with him. I agree with him. That guy's gaming. The active development is crazy. That's absolutely true. This is the craziest part, is that the active development in this game has been crazy lately.